You have Veterans for Peace. What is that?
Right. Yes, we're here to say that the poor people need to be respected. They need to have the funds that they were promised years ago, and that we need to be aware of their plight instead of all the 1% who get all the tax breaks.
How much do you think the 1% pays in general in terms of all taxes?
Well, probably not their fair share, especially since last December the 20% tax cut went into effect.
Are you aware that they pay, the 1% pays actually like 43% of all taxes? The top.
Well, there are probably numbers that dispute that, but I'm done. Thank you.
You're done talking? Okay. Class, can I talk about like the lie of that there's scarcity? Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
We have the material resources to take care of our population. It's often said that overpopulation is a cause for some people to go without, but the problem is a poor allocation of those resources. If we allocate the resources well, then everyone can have adequate housing, adequate food, adequate health care.
Right, so, yeah, so I would say there's plenty of resources,
yes.
Right? But I guess you could find, like, objectively, there's only a finite amount out there on this planet, though.
Yes.
Right? So that would be a scarce. Resources are scarce, then.
Certain resources, yes, but this is a more general term. When we talk about resources, we talk about shelter and we talk about healthcare. Those are resources that some people go without, right? Not just natural resources like coal or whatever we're trying to burn. And obviously, we should move towards green energy because that is so ensure well into the future that we can continue to provide at the same level.
Right. Now, in terms, so you're talking about healthcare, not being a resource, but like a service being provided.
Yes.
Right. Now, are you advocating for like universal healthcare or everyone having like a right to healthcare? Would that not necessarily like force doctors to have to provide healthcare then, or because if it's an absolute right that you have a healthcare, a doctor must perform. They don't really have a choice in that matter, right? Sure. So you're fine forcing doctors to perform?
Where are you going with this?
Well, I'm saying like, don't you think like if you value healthcare or like the quality of life?
With, by the way,
Liberate's a nonpartisan news channel.
What is it?
Liberate.
Liberate. Do you know about them?
No. What do you think about the healthcare in England that led to that child Alfie Evans to die?
I don't know enough to comment there.
Okay, so like they denied him healthcare. They said, well, we're the government. The mother was trying to get the child out of England to go to Italy. They're offering like a free plane ride and take care of the child, but the government said no. They had cops lined up outside the hospital to prevent the child from leaving.
I'm not going to comment on something that I haven't looked into myself.
Okay, yeah. I mean, so do you know where in healthcare where you force a doctor, right? You have to threaten them with violence to perform a service. Don't you think that's also contradictory towards advocating for healthcare, where you threaten the health of a doctor to perform?
Their health isn't threatened. They're a doctor. They provide health care for people.
But you're saying you would force a doctor to perform a service. Right? If it's a right, people have to perform. They have no choice. People have to provide that service.
Well, wasn't that a condition of their employment? If they chose to become doctors, then that was their choice. I mean, really. I mean, you know, I'm not sure what you do for a living. I don't know if it's like a professional thing or if it's a hobby thing, but hypothetically, let's just say you work at McDonald's or something. Hypothetically, you know, a condition of your employment is that you make burgers for people. That's just what you do. Now, are you being threatened with violence if you don't make burgers? Well, only to the extent that you are not receiving a wage. That's the only real anything close to violence that I could really throw in that. So to say that with a threat of violence, doctors having to perform, you know, these duties on people, that's already the case. That's already the situation they're in. So I'm trying to understand exactly what your questioning is. Is it, should we, what exactly is your question?
So my question is I don't know so much about having rights, like right to services, right? I would say like we have a duty to respect each other, right? And our bodily integrity and our body ownership, but we could trade for their services. But when we talk about like a right, it seems to be something that you're forced to provide, right? You have no choice.
We have a right to life. The fact is, how are you going to have life without health care, for example? The fact is, if we have a government whose job is to promote our general welfare, who's supposed to protect our right to life, if that's what our government's job is, if we pay resource into that government, shouldn't we expect the government to do its damn job? I mean, really, if you think about it, life is a right. Healthcare specifically, not a right. But if we know that explicitly life is a right, then it should be implied that healthcare is a right too.
Okay, I see where you're going with that.
Yeah.
Do you think the government actually does that, protect your life or protect your rights or anything like that?
Remember, our focus is not.
I mean, really, they're pretty good about property rights, and they're not really that much good about a lot else.
That's where our focus is.
But that's really all I gotta say on this. I'm trying not to be on camera a whole lot.
Yeah,
but
that's fine. Let's go understand.
and,
Thanks for your sharing your
yeah,
opinion.
yeah. And who are you with?
Liberate.
Liberate. I'm not. Okay, that's what you're asking about.
Yeah.
No, I'm not familiar with
No,
Liberate.
okay, yeah. So we have a
They're
YouTube
like
channel.
Libertarians or something?
Yeah, you can
or-
say Libertarian.
Focus.
Non-political, apolitical. We kind of want to remove government out of our lives and kind of.
Well, I can definitely agree with that. With government, there's a contract between the governed and the government that needs to be, respected. So, the thing is, if you're not going to have government, well, that's fine. But the fact is, we do have government. And I am paying taxes. I'm going to want to see something out of it other than,
You can say that, yeah. But like, but you have no explicit contract with government, right? And you don't really pay. They take it from you. You don't have a choice, right? Because if you had a choice, they wouldn't threaten to send you to jail, right? Tax day was this last month, right?
Oh yeah. Well, y'all have a good day. Hope y'all are able to find some good people
Take it
talking
easy, man.
about this.
States, they say where they're